Hello, welcome. Congratulations for following the course till this very time. So at this point, this is where we are going to get into work properly. We are done with the basics and elementary. So at this time, we are going to start creating our first Word document. We are going to start creating our Word document. Now, in the previous lesson, we have learned how to create a folder. We have learned how to create a folder. So this time we are going to create a folder that will save our Word files into that folder. I hope you can remember how to save a folder. So this is just what we are going to do as our Word document. We'll learn how to create something more like this. This is what I mean. Okay, so we are going to create a folder and we'll name that folder My First Word Document. My First Word Document. I hope you still know how to create a folder. I'm going to give you some time to create that folder. Name the folder My First Word Document. Go for it. So I hope you're able to create that folder. If you didn't, then don't worry. Let me show you. So to create your folder, what do? Your screen is in the idle mode. You right click on the mouse or mouse pad, you take on new folder. That default folder appears. You take on your backspace and then you might want to use caps locks and you write My First Word Doc. My First Word Doc. Doc is short form for document, and then you take enter. So you've created this folder. Now every document that we're going to create, we shall save it in this folder. Alright, so there are 3 stages in preparing your document. The first stage is writing, right? You are typing up the document. The second phase is to edit, and the third is to format. So when it comes to editing, it means you are doing corrections and some adjustment. When it comes to formatting, it means you are decorating it. Alright, so let us move into the job properly. So I open my Microsoft Word. If you are opening any new Microsoft Word document, you will always be brought to new. Alright, so to go to new, if you're using Microsoft 2010, just click on File. You go to new, click on new. It's always good that whenever you start your job, start new. Alright, and then you have some templates that you will see later. Take blank document. When you take a blank document, go back to File. The very first thing that you want to do is to save as. Alright, so click on Save As. This is Doc2. So call it Word 1. Alright, we call it Word 1. So this is your first Word document. Now, naming your document is so important as it helps you find it quickly. So you want to name your document according to its use. Alright, if it is a letter of application for this company, write a letter of application to this company also. If it is a project, name it according to the project name. Alright. Okay, so the next thing is we are going to save this document. You see, these are some files, some folders here. So where do you have to save it? If you scroll down, we have to save it in My First Word Doc. It happens that My First Word Doc is not here. Now My First Word Doc will be in this PC. So you go to this PC and then you search for My First Word Doc. If it isn't there, then we'll search for it in desktop. Okay, so we can see My First Word Doc in desktop. Alright, so click on that desktop and then you take open or save. So you save it there. You save it there. Now if we go back to My First Word Doc, if we go to My First Word Doc and open, you realize that we have Word 1 inside. Are you seeing? We have Word 1 saved inside. Alright, so let's go back to Word 1. Alright, so when it comes to the typing part, please just type what you want to type. Forget about the mistakes. That is why there is a second part, which is the editing. With editing, you are correcting those mistakes. Alright, so with the typing part, just be typing what you have. Maybe you have the paper there or the project that you are typing. So let's go. And now one thing I need to know about the keyboard is the keyboard will always highlight the mistakes that you make. If you begin a sentence with a small letter, as you move to the next word, it's going to adjust it automatically to a capital letter because the keyboard has been programmed to understand language, all right, English language format, if you're an English language user. All right, so we are going to do a little introduction about me. Okay, so I'll start with a title. I say a brief introduction. All right, so before going further, I'd like to give you some rules on how to type. So when you have to type, the first thing that you're going to do is, first of all, to choose your font. Which font do you want to use? So to choose your font, again, what do? You come here. All right, if you want to write the name of the font, you click on this space, and I like to use Times New Roman. So Times New Roman comes. If you want other fonts to search, you can click on that small arrow. Okay, the next is your font size. So what is the font size that you want to use? I like to use 14. All right, the next thing that you're going to do is your spacing. So this spacing is a line spacing. All right, how do you want your sentences to be spaced from one another? I'll leave it at 1.15. So with this, you need to set this first before you start writing. All right, now during the formatting stage, you might have to change the fonts per the word section, or you change the font size per the word section and all those things. So we'll do that in the editing section. So I'm going to call this document a brief introduction about myself. All right, so that is it. So I want to enter another line, so I'm going to take enter and I continue. My name is Agbo Emmanuel. Full stop. Full stop is on your keyboard. I live in Boya, Southwest region of Cameroon. Full stop. Enter. I am a male with age 29. Okay, so that is it. I might not necessarily need to start it on a new line. All right. So now, who am I? I'll write another who am I take a new line. I am an enthusiastic person, who loves impacting people with all the skills and solutions they need to overcome their challenges and have a better life. Okay, full stop. I have the following skill set: social media marketing, enter, digital marketing, enter video editing, enter graphic designing, enter Microsoft Suite Expert, enter web development, enter public speaking, enter sales and advertising, enter just to name a few. All right, so I'm going to go to the left and scroll down. So you can use a scroll wheel if you're using a hardware mouse. Just rule on your scroll wheel down. All right, okay. You can enroll in my training by following my social media handles, which are enter Facebook. I'm going to press shift and then I press this, that is the column, which are Facebook. I press shift again and I press add, get empowered digital learning platform, enter Instagram, still the same, add. Now I still need this very get empowered digital learning platform, so I'm going to highlight it and then I take Ctrl C for copy, right? And then I bring it here. I bring my cursor where I want to paste it, then this is paste. All right, I might take Control, that is print rather. We don't want to print. So let's go back to home and I click here to paste. All right, or I take Control V. I've pasted it. So I can write it like that, or WhatsApp me on, see, we have pressed the caps lock, 654. Now is the country code that I need to put, 000, and then shift. I press shift and I press +237 6536 65416 5168, or 00023 +237 237 658 318996. All right, so this is just a brief about me. All right, we're going to leave it like that. So if you look at this document, you notice that there are some red lines under those words. All right, that is an indication, and some are green. This red line shows that there is a mistake in the writing, okay, in the grammar. There is a mistake. And then this green line shows that there is a mistake in the spelling as well. All right, the red line shows that there's a mistake in the spelling, so to say. The red line shows that there's a mistake in the spelling of the word. So whenever you see red line, it means mistake. They're spelling that mistake in your spelling. And then the green line is mistake in the grammar. All right, so that is what will take us to the second stage, which is the editing stage, where we are going to edit this our Word document that we have created. And during the editing stage, we are now correcting. So whenever you are writing, as you are writing like this, it's good to save your work. So for you to periodically save your work, after you have already saved the document, you click here, save. All right. Now once you take your pointer there, it shows you save. The shortcut is Ctrl plus S. So you can click Ctrl S periodically to save. As you're typing, you're saving, so that in case there is power failure, you will not lose your document. All right. So your job is you are going to also type like this. Save, open a folder, call it your first Word doc, and then open a file on your Microsoft Word, name it as you want, and then do a brief introduction about yourself as I have done, just like this, with the errors. Snap it and send it to me. In the next lesson, we are going to learn how to edit this very document. See you there.